Hello class, this is Mr. Wood, and this is the first video in Introductory to Photoshop. In this video, we're going to learn about opening up Photoshop and setting up Photoshop, which is basically just interface modifications. So let's go ahead and open up Photoshop. Alright, down here in your dock, you might have a icon, a little square icon that says PS on it. What you'll do is you'll double click on that. Now if you don't have that, come over here to the Finder, go to your Applications, and find Adobe Photoshop CS6. Just go ahead and double click on that, and then double click on Adobe Photoshop CS6 again. Alright, now that we have Photoshop open, let's go on and look at the interface here. Over here on the right hand side we have what's basically your utilities panel. So right now we have our colors. There's a tab system up here, so we have swatches over here as well. And below we've got layers, channels, and paths. We'll get into the layers a little bit later. Over here on the left hand side we have our tool panel. This contains things like your move tool, your marquee tool, erase tool, pretty much any tool that you're looking for in Photoshop. And we'll look at this a little bit more later as well. And then up here on the top we just have all of our basic software options, file, edit, all that good stuff. So let's look into changing this interface around some. I'll start over here on the left at the tool panel. There's not really a lot you can do here. There's these little arrows here, so if you want a little bit more workspace, you can have this elongated tool panel. If you want a little shorter, click on that, those little arrows up here, and you'll get this, it's a little bit more stacked. I prefer the elongated one. I like having more workspace. Now if we come over here to the right hand side where our utilities panel is, we can pretty much change anything over here we want. So personally I don't like having the color panel there. So you can grab this, just click on it, drag it into your workspace, and now it's gone. If you want to get rid of it completely, just hit the little X up here, and that closes it out. You can do the same thing with the layers. So now we don't have anything over here. This can create some kind of a problem. If this happens to you, or you just accidentally forget or delete everything, or something weird happens, come up here to Windows, go to Workspace, and click on Essentials and Default. And what that typically does is bring back, here you go, hit Reset Essentials. And that'll give us everything that should be in the essentials. So for me, like I said, I personally don't like having the colors there. But let's say I want to add the history. So what you'll do is you come up here to Windows, History, click on History. Now we have our little history window here. Now say I want to move it over here into my utilities panel. You'll click it and drag it wherever it is you want it. You can put it right here. When you see this little blue line show up, just release it. Now we have our history. I'm not a big fan of the history one either. But what is important is paragraphs. So on our paragraphs we have paragraphs and we have characters. And this one you may not want necessarily in your utilities window, but we can put it there if we want. I like to have it here in this little sub-utility window. So you'll grab it, and once again that little blue line shows up, and you just release. Another really good one to have is your brushes. Your brushes show up automatically. If you want to move it, just grab it, move it out. You can have it right here in the utilities again. But the best place to really have it is this sub-utility window. And that is pretty much it for interface modifications.